Does your washing machine do this? Well, mine did. So I did what any sensible person would do, and seeing as it was probably a 15 or 20-year-old unit, just bought a new one because it's time to upgrade. Of course not. I tore it all apart to see what was wrong. With all the research I was doing, everything said the tub bearings probably went. So that was the first thing I wanted to go look at. Here are the bearings. I pulled them out. So let's give a little listen here. As you can see, they shake a little bit, but there's nothing making noise like a grinding like the bearing's gone. In fact, here's a new one. So this is what a new bearing would look like. It has a rubber seal around it, and if I spin it, it's much tighter. However, it still doesn't make any noise and no shaking. So the bearings were old and they were needing replacement, but they weren't exactly the problem that I thought they were going to be. So I dove a little bit further, and the big issue that I found that caused the whole machine to shake and in particular start smoking was this. This is called a spider support arm, and this is what holds that whole drum in that plastic tub. And ideally, you would like for it to not be in two pieces. So as you can see, there's a lot of oxidation and corrosion. I'm assuming it's rust. The thing is that it looks to be aluminum, so it's weird that it has so much oxidation. But there's definitely some corrosion there, and that's what caused it to be weak. And then ultimately it split, and it was obviously there's plenty more cracks, so the whole thing was going to come off at some point if I kept running it. What was happening, the lip of the drum inside that whole tub was actually rubbing against the inner portion of the tub, and it was actually burning it up. So there was so much movement separated from that tub and the drum that it was actually causing it to smoke because it was getting so hot. And so that was not good. What the cause is, so this is going to be short-term cause and long-term cause. The short-term obviously was that support arm failing. So the corrosion mixed with the crack was what was causing that drum to be so loose within the tub. For the long-term cause, so as auditors like to say, root cause analysis, obviously is going to have to come down to the corrosion that happened, the oxidation. And I think one of the big things, well, there's two issues that happened that I believe really caused this. One, not keeping that door open after using the washing machine. That allows water to sit inside the unit, and obviously with metal and water, the longer it sits on it, the more it kind of corrodes. So that's going to be one of the big things you need to do with a washing machine when not using it, is leaving the door open to air dry. Number two, and this was for all the fellas out there, is those big old loads that you put in the washing machine. Obviously, the extra weight is not ideal. After doing some research, you can find this everywhere. There is a circle in the drum right in the middle. Do not go over that circle. See that? Don't go above that. Less is more, people. Whatever you do, if you got to do 2 little tiny loads, 3 or 4 small loads, do that. That's just what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Those are the 2 big things, maintenance-wise, that will keep your washing machine running probably forever. Leave that door open when not in use, and make sure you do not cross the top of that circle. Now, in terms of fixing this, what did it cost? That support arm, all said and done, had to buy it from eBay and everything, brand new part. Well, I guess somewhat new, $230. So that's pricey. I did replace the bearings. Obviously, you saw the bearings on the table there. Would I have done it if I had known straight up that arm was bad? Probably not. But while I'm in there, I'll do it. Those bearings cost me $20. They do have a much more expensive set you can buy for about $85. I opted to see if the $20 set would work, and they seem just fine. And in fact, I think there's a company called like Front Loader Bearing Shop or something. they actually don't have rubber sealed bearings. So this is the bearing I got. This is actually rubber that goes around it, kind of like a seal. So everything I was reading said that the rubber seal one is preferable, obviously, with the water source that it's in. However, there's a seal that goes around that shaft, but there's a seal that protects all that. So unless you think you're going to have some serious leaking, which all the new bearings come with a new seal, so it probably doesn't really matter. But the cheaper one seemed like it worked perfect. I was very skeptical. I didn't think it was going to be the correct size, and I didn't think it was going to install easy, which it was the correct size, and it installed pretty easy. $20 for the bearings, $230 for the support arm, $250 in theory to get everything up and running. Now, take into account that my unit, the motor was in perfect condition, the rubber seal around the drum was in perfect condition, other than just being a little dirty. And also having it apart allowed me to pressure wash and clean. So now this thing is really, really clean and should work pretty near new in terms of how it's going to be. One of the reasons we elected to do that is that one unit, usually they're going to be sold in pairs, but a new unit's well over $1,000, probably in the $2,000 range, including the pair that you're going to have to get with the dryer. And then the used market, I will be honest, you're looking at around $400 to $500, probably just for a washing machine, is going to be in similar condition. Because it's really up to how that individual took care of that machine, which they probably didn't. They probably overloaded it just like you did. And they probably weren't keeping the door open when not in use, which it probably is already corroded and will fail at some point. So it's up to you if that's the route you want to take. I obviously didn't. I think I got pretty lucky finding it and for the prices and everything. But honestly, both of those things, the support arm and the bearing, were on the pricier side from what I was seeing for other units. You could probably get away with getting a support arm for about $100, depending on your unit. Now, is that something you should do, especially if you're not very capable? Oh, I'm not very comfortable working on things. And my answer is, yeah, dude, like, come on, man. It's going to be trash anyways. Take it apart. And really, it wasn't that difficult. I didn't record it because there's a million videos on YouTube of how to deconstruct these things very, well done. So I figure you'll probably go do that instead. But this is, yes, it is something you can do with hand tools. Very, very easy. And it took me all of 2 hours to get everything taken apart, to check out what was going on. Another probably 45 minutes of research online and ordering the parts. And honestly, the parts came in about 2 or 3 days. So, I mean, you're probably only going to be, a few days back from your washing routine. And also, it's going to be like new when it's all put together. So I say go for it. This is something you can do. I will not be showing everything taken apart and put back together. I just wanted to kind of give an idea of what happens when your machine kind of fails, and that it is something that you can do. But let me know if that's something you would like to see in detail. I definitely can go over all the bits and pieces of what to do, or if you have any kind of questions of getting into it. But yeah, if it's something that helped out, always, if you feel like you like the video, helps my channel. I'm, obviously everyone's trying to grow their channels with likes and subs. So, I'll try not to beg for it too much. But if it's something that you felt like you helped and you had got that nudge of encouragement to try it yourself, then cool. That's what this video was for. And good luck. Reach out if you have any questions. Again, I'm not like a service tech or anything. I'm just a regular guy who likes tearing into things and found that this is actually a pretty easy job. So again, good luck out there, and hopefully this video helped you out.